It's been an auspicious year for the St. Charles Lwanga Center as it continues the legacy of spiritual formation and leadership development in the African American tradition. Here's a look at some of the past year's highlights. In July, the Lwanga Center helped plan and hosted a national caucus for black clergy, which was held at the St. Louis Airport Embassy Suites Hotel. In November, Black Catholic History Month was celebrated around a film and discussion of the life of Mother Henriette de Lille, one of the founders of the Sisters of the Holy Family. The Lwanga Center also helped plan and presented the annual Archdiocesan commemoration that centered around the Dr. Martin Luther King National Holiday. 27 youth honorees received this year's Model of Justice Awards. FHB, which stands for Fallible Human Beings, is part of the Lwanga Center's youth ministry in collaboration with the Sisters of St. Joseph. The teens of FHB participated in the Respect for Life initiative. During the second annual baby shower, 300 items were collected and then donated to the Augustus Tolton Center and the Crisis Nursery to assist families and expectant moms. Kajinga, also part of the youth ministry, is an annual leadership conference for teens. Like FHB, Kajinga helps teens develop leadership skills, build self-esteem, and a sense of community.
I realized that it was a great learning experience. It helped me figure out more about myself and find out who I am, and it made me realize that I wanted to become a leader and be more involved in my church and my community and better myself.
Kajinga 9 was held in September at the Sheraton Westport Plaza. Now, here are some facts we think you should know. The Lwanga Center is one of the approved archdiocesan sites for the required marriage preparation workshops. Many of the faithful from across the St. Louis Archdiocese attend Wednesday Mass next door at St. Elizabeth's Parish. The Lwanga Center has a legal ministry. General legal information and education are confidentially offered at no charge. Pastoral care took on enhanced significance recently, both on-site and in nursing homes. And the bereavement ministry regrouped. It's now known as the Ministry of Consolation. Its purpose, to provide training and support for those who minister to people experiencing any kind of loss. Perhaps the most notable change was the retirement of Jane Wexler Brown, who had served as the Lwanga Center's executive director for 10 years. Upon her retirement, she received the King Award from Archbishop Carlson. Now, the King Award is considered the highest honor of the St. Louis Archdiocese. But interestingly, receiving that prestigious award wasn't what Mrs. Brown considered her highest accomplishment.
I will always come back to the youth as being my most memorable time. Have given them the opportunity to participate on our radio broadcast, the Kajanga program, and the reason I've mentioned those, in addition to the spiritual programs that we had, the spirituality programs that we had, is that the feedback from them said that it had given them the opportunity to build relationships, to get more in touch with themselves, and actually to expand on their spirituality. And even some, I think it really was a motivator for some of their career choices. So I was just impressed on having the opportunity to be a part of that experience.
And of course, the other notable change that occurred at the Lwanga Center was that after serving 7 years as the evangelization minister, Father Arthur J. Cabot was appointed as the Lwanga Center's new executive director.
Well, I think of us as a think tank, you know, sort of like the Brookings Institution in Washington, D.C., where policy is set, scholars come together, experienced people come together to think about what it is that we should be doing, how should we be doing it, and then action tank as well. A think tank and an action tank to go out and to implement what it is that we're seeing and thinking. To do that rather than just think it or write it down as a policy piece. I really have this interest for people to know that the St. Charles Lwanga Center is a resource and research center for catechetical information and historical information relative to the entire church and relative to African and African American spirituality and historicity too. I want people to know that this place is right across from my office here, and I want students and preachers and teachers and just folk who are interested in broadening their knowledge about this to take advantage of that. That's what that is going to be one of my promotions. I want to thank everyone who has been supportive of the St. Charles Lwanga Center over this many years, and that hopefully you will hear the word of the Lord that tells you that the St. Charles Lwanga is doing some great things locally and hopefully nationally, on a national scope too, and that they will continue to be supporters of us financially and in attendance for the various events that we have.
These are just a few of the highlights from the previous year. For more information about anything you have seen during this video presentation, to volunteer your time, to donate money or your talent, or to use the facility, contact the St. Charles Lwanga Center. Thank you.